Okay, Fear Street 1666 is here. Forget everything you know. Fear Street 1666 stars Kiana, Madeira, Ashley Zuckerman, Jillian Jacobs, Olivia Scott Welch, and is directed by Lee Janniak. What's up, guys? This is it. This is the third and final movie in the Fear Street trilogy, and wow, this has just been something different. Like, I can't think of an experience like this where you got three. They feel like big budget studio movies that come out, a week apart from each other. It's insane to me that this happened. Has it happened before? I can't think of a time it has where, at this level, movies with this type of budget. I can't think. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong here, but it was really cool. And I will say 1666, quite satisfying. This will be a non-spoiler review. As with the previous two movies, I'm giving you non-spoiler and spoiler reviews. With 1666, oh my God, a lot to unpack, all right? So that spoiler review coming this weekend. Yeah, wow. I'll just say that. A lot to unpack, so I'm going to be very, very, very careful with what I tell you in this non-spoiler review, okay? And also, I'll say, if you haven't seen 94 and 78, you might not want to watch this even though it's a non-spoiler review, okay? Because if you're jumping right into 1666, then you're not going to enjoy it as much. I know that you probably will be lost. But yeah, I think that just needs to be said. And I highly recommend all three of these movies. I think they're very entertaining, especially if you're a slasher fan. 1666, it ventures into the beginning, how the Sarah Fear curse started. Everything that you've learned from the previous two movies, I guess reset yourself when you go and watch this movie, okay? And I mean that in a really good way. Quick plot synopsis. Of course, this is 1666, so this movie, being very careful with the words, takes place in 1666. We learn the origin, how this whole thing happened. You're going to see a lot of the actors that are in the previous two movies, and they're playing characters from 1666. At first, I was a little bothered by that, but after watching it all unfold, it makes a lot more sense. And I see why they used those actors. The only one that uses a different actor sometimes is the character Sarah Fear. Most of the time it's Kiana Madeira who plays Dina in 1994. She plays Sarah in this movie, but we do see the other actress that plays Sarah that we see pop up from time to time, mostly in like flashbacks. And that actress's name is Elizabeth Scopel. Now, as far as the books, I haven't read the books. I do know from talking to some friends that the book's vastly different than this. And if you look at the books as scripture, you're probably not going to like this, all right? But we've already made it this far to 1666. So if you like the previous two movies, I think you're going to be fine here. I think you're going to like this a lot. I'd say it's my second best out of the three. I prefer 78 the most, this second, and 94 third. I gave 94 Trapped on an Island, okay? That's how much I like 94. To me, when putting this movie with those other two movies, it is a logical and very satisfying conclusion. And it does have a lot of surprises, like I said. Now let's jump into what I really loved about 1666, and that is the emotion, finding out the backstory of Sarah and really digging into the nuts and bolts of that character. And this is a very emotional movie. When you see everything that she went through, how she was hung and killed by the townspeople, you get a really good understanding of that. There is a love story involved here that I think works really well. And if you're familiar with how, religion worked 300 years ago and how dogmatic it could be, then you're going to get a better understanding of why things happen the way they happen in this movie, There's a lot of one-dimensional point of views, and when you have that, when you're not open-minded, then you don't understand another person who is open-minded, and that is who Sarah Fear is in this. She doesn't want to be confined and constricted to the beliefs of the townspeople. And because of that, they automatically point the finger at her and they see her as evil. And so watching that all unfold, there is this key character by the name of Solomon who is very much deserving in the spoiler section of this review, okay? I am not going to talk too much about Solomon because key character that I can dive deep into in the spoiler review, which I can't wait. Also, one thing I have to mention is Kiana Madeira was fantastic in this role. She's great in 94, serviceable, but it all comes full circle in this movie, and she has to play Sarah Fear, who has an Irish accent. And this is a very troubled, it's a very different character than the character of Dina. And she kills it. She does such a great job in this role, actually. And I loved her performance. And I think this is an actress that we're going to see more in the future, hopefully, because I think she did a great job. But really, all the cast, I enjoyed, everybody in this role. Now, as far as any kinds of the way it all ended, there are little nitpicks that I have that I will definitely explore in the spoiler review because I don't want to give anything away, especially with the second half of this movie and how it plays out. But I will just say that everything comes full circle. Almost a little bit too, like there's the bow is a little bit too bright, okay? I'll just say that. That's my cons for the movie. But overall, I still really enjoyed it. I need to process it for a little bit. I'm going to stick with The Trapped on an Island because I think this is almost like a perfect trilogy, And again, if you're into the books, then maybe look at this as like another separate Fear Street story. I think if you do that, you might enjoy it more and maybe go back and rewatch all three movies together. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. So anyway, guys, that is my very clumsy non-spoiler review for Fear Street 1666, but once we get to my spoiler review, I think you'll understand my frame of mind because, like I said, I'm being very, very careful with what I say. Let me know in the comments if you've seen it, what you thought. Be careful with the spoilers in the comments. I would say just put a spoiler warning if you want to talk some spoilers in the comments, but we're going to be talking big-time spoilers in the spoiler review, okay? Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day on Fridays. We do Free for Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on all my socials. Support me on Patreon. Buy me a coffee. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Drumdum out.